That was fucking bad, you guys. I think at this point in time, we can all say together, it's time to fire Joe Barry. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Marcus here with MGN Sports. And what an absolute dismantling of this Packers defense, you guys, as the Packers lose this game 34-20 against the Bucks. Very disheartening performance, obviously, for us Packers fans. This had a lot on the line in this game, you guys, obviously, with the potential of going to the playoffs. Around the horizon here, Packers are right in the position they want to be in with that 6-7 record. And currently, before this game, we're holding on to that 7th seed in the wild card play-in spot, you guys. Unfortunately, after this loss, we're probably going to be on the outside looking in and going to have a big-time uphill battle trying to get into the playoffs. Definitely probably going to have to win out the last 3 games here to give ourselves any sort of chance. But just what an embarrassing loss, you guys. Really sucks, especially when the offense was looking pretty good throughout the game. We were moving the ball with ease. Obviously, didn't finish with touchdowns on every drive. I was a little confused at Matt LaFleur's decision-making in that first quarter, deciding to go for it on like 4th and 3. Instead of kicking the field goal there, I would have taken the field goal personally in that instance. Thought that was pushing it a little too much in a time where we weren't really behind. We didn't really need to, try and go for it on 4th down there, in my opinion. Maybe if it was a 4th and 1 or 4th and inches, it was something worth going. But at 4th and 3, 4th and 4, it's not like it was a close one to go for early on in the game like that. So I didn't really like that call by Matt LaFleur. Obviously, it didn't matter much as the game went on, you guys, as this Buccaneers team just continued to pound the rock on us. Mainly through the air, to be honest with you. I thought their run game would have been a lot better. The Packers did quite a nice job through the first 3.5 quarters on the run defense, holding them under 100 yards rushing up to that point. Obviously, they got going there at the very end of the game, just killing clock, trying to grind out that the rest of the game clock on us so we couldn't get the ball back and try and score. But just an abysmal performance. I mean, they had Baker Mayfield looking like an all-pro quarterback today, you guys. I don't know what the fuck happened there. This guy was just dropping seeds down the field everywhere. It seemed like every single 15, 20-yard play, their receivers were just wide open. Just an atrocious job by this defense. I think finally, guys, this is the time where we can say, like, they got to do something about this defense. We got way too much talent, just scattered across that entire defense with first-round picks over the last several years, and it's time for a change, I believe, at the defensive coordinator position. Joe Barry is not getting the job done. Obviously, since he's been around, we've been the worst run defense team in the league, pretty much, at least a bottom 3, bottom 5 team in run defense. Obviously, that didn't kill us today until late in the game. But then we just go ahead and lay an absolute egg in the pass defense game. I mean, our back end was atrocious today, you guys. I mean, they were just getting everything that they wanted on us. I can't even I count the amount of times I remember it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 12, 2nd and 18s, and they're picking up first downs. And you just don't even have confidence as a fan watching the game. You're like, oh, yeah, here comes another first down for the Buccaneers, and it's just really tough to watch. Especially when we got such a young team like this. I think all of us Packers fans were going into this expecting, like, okay, if anything, it's going to be our offense probably costing us games throughout the season. Just being the youngest offense in the NFL. And, we were kind of accepting that and okay with that. There was going to be some growing pains. And there was for a little stretch there, those 3-4 games in the middle of the season that we weren't playing so well. But little did we know, guys, these last 2 weeks, who would have guessed that it's our defense that is costing us the chance to win these games? Obviously, last week against the Giants, great job by our offense being able to drive down and take the lead with under 2 minutes to go in the game. And then the defense just completely falls apart. Allows 3rd-string quarterback and Tommy DeVito to come in and just light us up, drive down the field, and get that field goal, no problem. And there's countless times throughout this game as well, you guys. The Packers would have a couple nice plays, obviously, after us going for it on 4th down there early in the first quarter. We decide, the defense gets the ball back for us on that fumble recovery by Enagbare, which was huge for us, obviously, at that point in the game. So, the defense did make some plays. Obviously, I think we sacked the quarterback 4 or 5 times in this game as well. But at the end of the day, man, it's just not good enough. The back end was not good enough today. Penalties cost us. And it just wasn't a very good performance overall from this defense, you guys. And like I said, I think as Packers fan, this one really shocks us. because we never expected to be losing this game because of our defense. If anything, you would think we're losing these games late down the stretch in the season, just because of that young offense and everyone's still kind of learning their roles and learning how to play in the NFL consistently. And that's been the complete opposite, you guys. It's been our defense costing us these last couple games. And that's where I think it's time to make that change. And get rid of Joe Barry. It just has not been very good, you guys, since he's been around. We've been a very subpar defense. With a bunch of first-round studs, we should be much, much better than we are. And it just seems to be the same thing over and over again, year in, year out, with this Packers team, with the defense letting us down in crucial points throughout the game. And something's got to change here, man. I think the best thing we can do, like I said, is to get rid of Joe Barry, and we got to come in with a fresh defensive scheme and someone who actually knows how to dial up a good scheme, to set up our guys for success here. Because I just don't feel like, we're getting set up for success continuously. And when you have guys that don't believe in the system that they're within, that's where they tend to kind of play out of the system or outside of the system. And that's what we're kind of seeing with this Packers team. Guys aren't following exactly what they're supposed to be doing within that system because they just don't believe in it anymore. And then you're seeing what's happening in games like today where we just look like we have no fucking clue what's going on out there, and just allowing big chunk play after big chunk play down the field. Just completely unacceptable. And like I said, something's got to change, man. We were expecting the offense not to be great this year, and lo and behold, they're actually performing a lot better than we expected. But that defense is definitely underperforming, and we got to do something about this, you guys. So I definitely am on the fire Joe Barry train. I've been kind of waiting to see what happens throughout the season here, but I think it's definitely time, you guys. Baker, like I said, he looked like a freaking all-pro this game. He went 22 of 28, 381 yards and 4 touchdowns, which is just absolutely atrocious. We're letting this. He's basically a high-end quality backup in the league, in my opinion. I don't think he's a guy that's going to be a starting caliber quarterback that's going to lead your team to the promised land. But he's a very high quality backup quarterback on a very good team. Obviously a starter on an average team like he is this year with the Bucks. But you let a guy have stat line like that throughout the game. He was just dropping dimes all over the field, making our defense look like a bunch of scrubs. 452 yards total offense allowed by our defense. Just numbers that are not very good. Obviously, like I said, we did do well throughout the run game in the beginning. And then on that last drive of the game there, basically for them to seal the deal, they were able just to run the ball down our throats, give our offense no chance to get back onto the field. And just an atrocious performance, you guys. Like, we got to be a lot better defensively if we're going to want to have any chance moving forward. You're not going to have success against playoff teams playing like this defensively. And Bucks aren't even really a playoff team. They're a fringe playoff team, kind of like what we are right now. So it's not like we're playing some top-end offense who's just incredible. This is a very mediocre offense, and, they manhandled us and embarrassed us in this one, you guys. Very tough loss as a Packers fan. Obviously, the playoffs are looking a lot more slim now for us. Obviously, probably got to win all 3 of our next games here to finish off the season at 9-8 to be able to have a chance. But it ain't going to be easy, man. We got a tough road ahead now. Carolina's even been playing better. That can be a trap game for us next week, so we got to be careful with them. I got no confidence right now in this team again. We're back to these highs and lows with this young squad, you guys. Feeling good after beating the likes of the Chargers and the Lions and Kansas City, and now we're right back down into the pits again, you guys, and lo and behold, it's our defense letting us down these last couple instead of the offense. So hopefully we can get it turned around down the stretch here and have a good last 3 games of the season. That's pretty much all I got for this one, you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully the Packers can turn it around. Like I said, a tough one. Tough one for the defense today. Would love your guys' opinion in the comment section down below on what you guys' thoughts are on what we should do with this defense. And if Joe Barry's seen his last days as the coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. Once again, you guys, thanks so much for watching. This is Marcus with MGM Sports signing off. We'll talk to you on the next one.